Being a parent. Welcome back. I am Labria. Listen, I am blessed that you decided to come and sit with me here today. Over here, okay, in this corner of the internet, we talk about all things mental health, all things wellness. So come on in and let's get started. Being a parent can be ghetto sometimes, okay? Being a parent can be hard. In the midst of all the things we do as parents, we forget sometimes to take care of our well being, to take care of ourselves. I know this because I am the parent of the most energetic son in the world. I feel like my son has the most energy in this world. So I definitely know what it looks like and what it feels like when us as parents do not take care of ourselves. Listen, I have failed multiple times with managing my well being, and that looks different for everybody. When we're not getting enough sleep, when we are not navigating through our past trauma, when we are not filling up our cups, when we are focused on everybody else but ourselves, right? We forget to make sure that our well-being is taken care of. So what this video today is going to help you get out of that funk. We have to remember that we play an enormous role in supporting our own kids' well-being, right? So how can we support our own kids' well-being when we are not even taking care of ourselves? Listen, and when us parents take care of ourselves, we are then able to show up as a better version of ourselves. When we're able to show up as a better version of ourselves, right, which is more peaceful, which is more joyful, which is more happy, our children are able to imitate what we are showing to them, right? We are a living and breathing example to our kids. Right, so we have to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves for the sake of ourselves and for the sake of our children and our families. Before I get into the 3 steps, there's one thing that I want you to do. And the first thing I want you to do is reflect on where your well-being is at right now. When we reflect, this helps us to pinpoint where we need to start first in order to manage our well-being, in order to make a plan. And there are just some questions that I want you to ask yourself. Where is my well-being right now? How do I feel right now at this moment? Do I do things that I enjoy that make me feel good? Do I spend time with my friends? Do I feel hope for tomorrow? Do I get enough sleep? Do I feel content in my life right now? So get a journal. You don't even have to get a journal. Get a piece of paper. Get an envelope that has a blank space on the back of it. And just sit and reflect for 2 minutes on how you are right now. Now, I'm just going to give you 3 steps that you can start today. I don't want us to say,
hey, you know what? I'm going to start on Monday. It's a fresh week.
I am against the starting on Monday. And granted, I used to be a start on Monday type of girl, but now no longer. We are going to start making changes day of. Number 1 is prioritize yourself. I'm going to say that again. Prioritize yourself. This is a disclaimer. This does not mean that you are being selfish. How can you show up for someone if you are not even showing up for yourself? I'm gonna be honest, okay? This is something that I do every month from work. I take off a day. I use my PTO time that I accumulate throughout the year, and I take off a day every single month, maybe even more. But if your circumstances and your situation allow you to be able to take off time, please do that. It's important for us to step away from our jobs, step away from our kids, step away from our families, and take some hours or a day to just hone in on us, to focus on us, to do what we want to do. It has nothing to do with anybody else. Another thing about prioritizing yourself, this looks like going to therapy Or if you're not ready to go to therapy, or if you don't have the means to go to therapy, you can journal. And with the journaling prompts, if y'all need some help on where to start with the journaling, please comment below. Let me know if that's something that you want to see, because I will definitely make a video on that. But journaling, setting time aside to work through your trauma and to navigate through that, that's part of prioritizing yourself. We have to go back and navigate through that so that we can show up the best way that we know how. Another thing about prioritizing yourself is maybe wake up 30 minutes earlier before your kids get up. Yes, I know maybe waking up at 5:30 is early. That time can be for you to journal, for you to have that fresh cup of coffee, for you to have that tea, for you to go outside and just sit and just think and reflect before everybody in the house wakes up. Just think about it and start small. Maybe you wake up 15 minutes, maybe even 10 minutes, maybe even 5 minutes. Say, hey, you know what? Tomorrow morning, I'm going to wake up 15 minutes early before everybody else, because I want to enjoy a fresh cup of coffee before anybody wakes up. And that is going to help start my day and fuel my day. Number 2 is reach out for support. Okay, reach out to your friends and your family if they're available. Now, come on, my independent people, come here. Come here. Asking for help does not equate to weakness. We have to set our ego aside, right? And we need to ask for help, and asking for help is okay. I have been there before where I would have rather suffered in anything before I went to go ask for help. And after I look back on that, I thought, if I would have just asked my friends for help, and I knew that they would help me, if I would have just asked my mother for help, my situations would have turned out so much better. This year, 2023, listen to me, we are getting rid of the independent mindset. And what I mean by independent is being so independent that you will suffer before asking for help, because you feel like that you may fear that people may judge you, or you may fear people may look at you different, or you may fear that this is a sign of weakness. We're going to eliminate that thought process. We're going to reprogram our mind. So instead of thinking of independence, let's talk about interdependence. Interdependence is where the dependence of 2 or more people or things are working together. This is not codependent, right? We are not codepending. We are not depending on another person for our emotional or psychological needs, right? We are interdependence. We are working together in order to get things done. And my last and final tip is, do not compare yourself to another family, to another mother, to anyone. Honestly, I need you to ignore that noise that comes in when you're looking at social media, when you're out maybe at the park or at the mall or anywhere that you're at, and you're comparing yourself and you're like, those kids are being so obedient. My child is over here just flailing and just throwing a tantrum while we're out in public. Right? You then get on social media and you see that highlight pic and you're like, I wish my life was like that. But let me remind you and let me tell you that those kids over there that may be obedient, there may be something going on behind the scenes that you don't know about. The highlight reel that you may see on social media is probably fake, because we don't know what has happened before that highlight and after that highlight. We just see that one picture. Let's lock in on this. How can we show up for our kids? How can I show up for my son? How can you show up for your kids, your family, your daughter, your husband? What does your family need, right? Because what that family need, your family may not need that. So we need to stop looking on the outside, and we need to start nurturing and growing and watering what we already have, right? So that it can bloom and blossom beautifully. The last thing, do not be hard on yourself and give yourself some grace. Parenting can be this tumultuous, demanding job every single day. I fall into my moments where I'm burnt out, where I'm not feeling at my best, where I could have done things 100% differently, but I always go back to these 3 steps because they help me to get myself out of that rut, right? It helps me to show up better for my son. For 2023, we are making a promise to take care of our well-beings and to take care of ourselves. I want us to start filling up our cups so that we can pour into other people, but not at the expense of draining ourselves so much that we can't show up for ourselves. If you have any other topics similar to this one that you want me to talk about, or any topics in general that you want me to talk about, please put them in the comments below. Also, parents, please give tips and strategies or things that you are doing in order to take care of your well-being. I want us to be able to help each other out and build a community that is loving and caring and helpful. Okay, so I'm gonna leave you guys with that. Please like and subscribe, and I hope you have a beautiful day.